Going live. You're live. Hey, welcome to the show. The live stream, whatever. So I just want to talk to you real quick about writing and your bipolar, your mental illness, I said illness, sickness, your mental illness, your mental state of being, your depression, your whatever. I'm just staring at it. I'm trying to figure out where this is. Sorry, I just gotta see. It's the bipolar. I can't. Why can't I do that? Why can't I find out more about this picture? Where's that at? Where's to find out more about this picture? Isn't it weird how they do that? Anyway, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's just some big old church somewhere in the world. It's a cathedral. It looks like it's European. And there's a Space Needle too. So it can't be St. Louis or Seattle, I mean, or Vegas. They don't put churches in those cities, do they? Anyway, writing stuff down, not just like your schedule. Like tomorrow I'm gonna go to the doctor, whatever, and blah 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 blah, and write, and I'm gonna mow the lawn, and I'm gonna do the dishes, and write. I'm talking about, like, first of all, words are very powerful and words are very magical. Every time you say I can't, it's true. Your laziness, your undetermination, your unmotivation, you are solidifying your loserness, right? Can you walk the dog? I can't. No, yeah, you can. You can. Go do it. Are you handicapped? No, go do it. Unless you're handicapped, then you can't walk the dog. And in fact, I've even seen people in wheelchairs walking dogs. So handicapped people can walk dogs. You should be able to as well. Can you do the laundry? Can you take it? Can you do the dishes? Can you, like I said, mow the lawn? Can you do all these things? Every time you say I can't, I'll never learn this language. Well, no shit. When you talk like that, of course, you'll never learn this language. Words are very powerful on the negative. They're also even more powerful on the positive. So when you say something like, I can get in shape for the summer, I will be exploding with muscles and my fat will be shredded down, and I will eat the proper diet, and I will have the proper sleep, and I will intake the correct amount of water, and blah, 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 blah. And you write it down and you read it and you repeat it over and over again and again, and stuff will manifest, stuff will come into fruition. You do have to work at it. It's not that easy. It's not just like going into the woods. I was actually not the woods, but the little scoop, but there was a sunspot. I was there yesterday for about 3 hours, just meditating, being with the Most High, and thinking these thoughts. I'm gonna pass Svenska and Vandere. I'm gonna finally get my seal of approval, my stamp that says you have passed Swedish, and now you know Swedish, and I can go and have an interview in Swedish, get a job, whatever. Got to do what I got to do. I'm gonna conquer my demons. I'm going to be a great father. You got to solidify these things. Just how you go into a downward spiral. Oh, my life, man, my mom died, my parents, I'm divorced twice, I have 4 kids and 5 baby mamas, do the math on that, and blah, 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 blah. Just as easy as it is to downward spiral, it is also easy to upward spiral, to do the opposite, to go to the positive side. And I was meditating. I was like, I'm gonna stop cussing. I'm gonna stop having munchies. I'm gonna fast more. Last week I fasted 2 days. Sunday, Tuesday. I believe I tried to do Thursday. I went 24 hours from Wednesday to Thursday with meals. So that's 24 hours. You could technically count that as a day, but it was not the full Thursday. The weekend came. I ate very little on the weekend. My youngest was with his mother, and my soon-to-be adult 17-year-old just wanted to just be at the house. Why not? Can't blame him. So food now for me is very, if the boys aren't home, don't eat. So I don't know if it's that I'm fasting. I'm just not hungry. Anyway, so you go. I'm meditating. I'm doing yoga. I'm thinking of all these things, these positive things, and it helps. And it helps to write it down. To write it down, like word for word. I will write down, like, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna tell you a story. There was this lady that I still have a crush on her, but long story short, she have a boyfriend. So there's this woman that I've been randomly bumping into every once and then at the grocery store, and she is gorgeous. She's phenomenal. She's like tall, like 185, 190, something like that. I mean, she puts the shoes on, the work boots, and she's like 190. And I'm a long time ago, there was a woman who was 93 myself. So, I've never had, I mean, a long tall in my life. And it was just a short crash and burn, and very sad. Um, but that's dwelling now, what I'm doing. And you don't want to dwell, because that's downward spiral. It starts with that and it goes to the next thing, and pretty soon you're sitting there and you're like, fuck it, why live anymore? That's not what you want to do. So this lady at the grocery store, oh my gosh, and I saw her here, I saw her there, I see her on a Monday, I see her on a Tuesday in the morning and afternoon. It's like, oh my gosh. And we got the flirty eyes going, and would break ice and talk to her. And I gave her one compliment, and then I saw her like 2 or 3 more times, and then the universe just opened up and like put us the same spot, the same time, in the same location, the same aisle, and was basically saying it's now or never. Ask to hang out now or not. So that's what I did. I says, hey, we should bump into each other more often on the outside. And she says, nah, I got a boyfriend. Oh, okay. And I didn't want to do that whole. Now we're going off on tangents here. Here's the thing: when it comes to, I have a boyfriend, it's the way they say it to the guys now. Hey, you gotta go to Dean. Yeah, varsågod. Oj, här också.
Ja, just det.
Ja. So, yeah, tack så mycket. So, yeah, fucking interruptions. She hate fucking interruptions. Any and all interruptions. Good, bad, positive, negative. Can interruptions be good? That was okay. He had stuff in here. He forgot it. There's no like hot mic recording. Don't open the fucking door. I mean, you can see the door, and when you open it, you can see people into this place here. Oh, they must be recording. They're at the fucking double. They're at the fucking double screen display, and there's only one camera that I know of right here. So anyway, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He didn't stay. The hard part is when they stay and you got to turn it off, and it's like, fucking, what the fuck are you doing in here? I'm fucking working, right? The fuck was I talking about? All I got is write it down. Talk about the pen and paper. The pen is mightier than the sword. So you write it down. Life happens. Aha. So Yeah, I have a boyfriend. I have a I have a boyfriend. I have a boyfriend. First, she said, "Do you think?" She asked me a question. I said, "Hey, it would be nice if we bumped into each other outside the grocery store." She said, "Do you think that's a good idea?" Fuck yeah. Why is it not a good idea? The only way we'll know if it's a bad idea is when we get there. And we'll know it's a bad idea within 10, 20 minutes. I'll either go, don't want to be your friend. You're not what I thought you would be on the inside, or vice versa. You would say to me, you're not the type of guy that I would have as a friend. Right? I didn't ask her out. I didn't say, hey, I want to take you out on a date. That's another thing, fellas. Stop doing that. Stop. You got to stop. It's nasty out there. Every time you walk up to a woman and she immediately responds with a knee jerk, I have a boyfriend. That's toxic femininity or toxic femaleness, right? Because two things will happen. One, she's telling the truth. Okay, she's telling the truth, respect it and walk away. Two, she's lying. If she's lying, that means she's playing a game with you and she's lying. So you got away. You got away. Not she got away. You got away. You got away from a liar, and a liar turns into what? Possible craziness. You know how I know? I got bipolar, been there and done that. So she says she got a boyfriend. She says, I don't think my boyfriend would like that. And I didn't want to go into the whole, I'm 44. If I was 24, it's a huge, big different story. I would have been like, so your man's jealous of all your guy friends? Do you not have any guy friends? Don't you have at least one other guy friend you hang out with just for this platonic of hanging out with testosterone but not fucking? Like, don't you do that? Doesn't he have girlfriends that he hangs out with? Is it just you and him for the rest of your lives already? How boring. So he's a jealous lover? I would have gone into all of that. But I'm 44 and I don't want that headache. So I just, okay, if she's telling the truth, good. I'll respect it. I am respecting it. I have yet to see her again at the grocery store. I've been there countless times since then. It's been like 5 or 6 times I've had to go back to the grocery store and replenish and reinforcements. And, kids want burgers and pizzas and tacos and toast with peanut butter and jelly and jam and butter and deep fried chicken and cashews and meat sticks and matzo balls. Uh, and if she doesn't and she continues to see me, I'm just gonna self maximize and keep improving. And eventually, maybe she comes around and is like, you know what, I was lying about that earlier. And I'm like, oh, you were lying. Well, now I really don't want to have anything to do with you. Thank you for your honesty, though. But whatever. But she's just a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Outer shell, obviously. Yeah, I want to be friends with um, beautiful people. Who doesn't? And ugly is a who said that? There's no ugly women, just lazy women. It's the same thing with men. Who said that? I guess I have to do a real Google, real time Google, because somebody said that, and I quoted it. There are no ugly women, just lazy ones. I want to say Maya Angelou. Helena Rubinstein. I was way off. Cosmetic empire pioneer. Yeah. So it's true. There are no ugly people, just lazy people. I can prove it to you. I went on a Tinder date the other day, and 10 minutes before I got there, she sent a text message and it said, it was meeting at her house too. This was a weird thing. It was actually, full disclosure, it was my first Tinder date. So this was like, I don't know how many years ago, after the divorce. 2 years ago? 1.5 years. I don't know. Anyway, I go out there and I'm biking on the way to her house. She wants to meet at her house, have a fika. So I made a pecan pie, and she was going to supply the coffee and conversation, blah, blah, blah. So, and she wanted her house because she just got a new puppy and she wants to help. I don't know if she wanted my help, but she wanted just that whole, I have to stay home because if we leave them, I don't have a dog sitter, that whole fucking bullshit. I didn't know what that was until I got into it. Anyway, 10 minutes before I get there, and I'm on the bike, I get this text, and it says, FYI, it's my off week for the children, so the house is a mess. And also, I don't have any makeup on. I understand if you want to turn around. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. For many reasons. Obviously, the number one reason was I was getting out of a divorce. I think it was a year after my divorce. So you want the poontang. You get your desires. Let's just check it out. What happens? Long story short, not only does she not clean the house and her makeup, which I could care less, her toenails, I'm not kidding, like this long. Like fucking shooting off to the side and yellow and like brownish. And it was like, what the fuck are you doing? Right? Nice lady. Nice lady. It was nice. We had the pecan pie. She loved it. We had the coffee. She rolled up some doobie. I couldn't believe that. That was awesome. I hadn't smoked a woman in a long time. I wanted to keep her as a friend for that reason and other reasons, the conversation, and everything. But I couldn't. I couldn't get past those fucking toenails. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It's disgusting. Lazy. Lazy right there. Turned into ugly. Anyway, where was I? So talking about that chick from the grocery store. Right. So so here's what I did. I saw her years ago while I was married. And when I first saw her, I thought to myself, uh, stay away. I'm married, and she's very young. She looked like she's in her 20s. She could have been 18 the day I met her. I don't know, like anywhere from 18 to that 30 something, like just always looking the same with the makeup and the nails every day. And the only fluctuation is the weight when they're in and out of their period. And it was like she's a goddess, for crying out loud. Because she has that outer beauty that it doesn't matter if she is so young. Obviously, I would say no. My limit is like 30 something, around there. 30 something, 33, 35, something around there. I give a little bit of leeway in the friendship of getting to know the woman to see if there is connection and maturity. But most of the time, you've got to be 30 plus. Sorry, that's just how it is. Not sorry. Um, so anyway, the divorce happened, and you know I was down, and then just life in general, and then I started getting back and bouncing back, and that Tinder thing, and just meeting women here and there, and trying to have friendships and new friendships and whatever, and very, very reserved and held back when it comes to more than friends. Uh, so um, when I remembered to pick up the pen that was with this one at the grocery store, and I would write things like, uh, I would write things in the future. I would write like, tomorrow I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to go grocery shopping. I'm going to run into the grocery store clerk. We're going to talk and have a good time. I'm going to ask her out. I'm going to say, let's get some coffee, whatever. I'm going to shoot a joke. She's going to laugh. I would write stuff like that down. I would. And then the next day, I would go there, and the universe just opened up. It would just be me and her at the checkout stand. Like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. Okay. And then I'd go to open my mouth, and I would put my foot in my mouth, and nothing would happen. So then I have to write again and say, this is going to happen. And then this is going to happen. And then this is going to happen. And it's scary because your side will happen. If I write, I'm going to go to the grocery store tomorrow, I'm going to buy bread, a tomato, and fucking Tom and Jerry crackers. And I'm going to go to the cashier, and she's going to be there, and we're going to talk and hit it off. The only thing that is really guaranteed is you going to the store, buying the bread, the tomato, and the Tom and Jerry's, and going to the cashier. Is she gonna be there? It's really hard to say. Yes, it's a fact. She's gonna be there. Is she gonna say, "Yeah, we can get a fika," or is she gonna say, "I don't think it's a good idea. I got a boyfriend. He wouldn't like that." Right. So there's power to it, and the best way I think to use it is not for relationship like that. Um, I think the best way is to use it for your own personal relationship. I'm going to work out. I'm going to eat right. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to sleep correctly. I'm going to get more scheduled with the laundry and the dishes and the sweeping and the dusting and the walking the dog and feeding the cat and taking the kids to school and picking them up and da 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 da. You just write it down and reread it and repeat it, meditate on it. I don't know, and then go from there. Right now, oh my gosh, there's a woman I met recently. Wow. We just had one chance encounter. And I can't stop thinking about her. But yeah, I mean, that's it. Just, will I see her again? I don't know. Do I write about her? I do, but I don't write about her like I did with this grocery store clerk, because I don't know anything about this woman that I just met. I don't know. I don't know how often she works. I don't know. No, I don't. Where does she live in my city? Does she live in? Nothing, nothing. I know her name, and that's it. And yeah, whatever. That's how life is. That's how life is. So, um, yeah, just write stuff down. Write stuff down. Like I wrote down. I think I wrote down yesterday that somehow we were going to bump into each other again where we met, and it's not happening because it's 12:45 almost. I'm still not done, and today is my day for the start of the week for my youngin. It's my week for him, and um, I don't want to mix. Uh, I don't like the bonus mother idea. I don't. I really don't. I don't want to. I don't want to. You might be amazing. You're never meeting my kids. I'm sorry. Just not now. Not now. Not when he's so young. Uh, you know, uh, maybe maybe when he's a teenager or something like that. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I don't. If you got kids, I don't want to meet them. I don't want to meet your kids. I don't. Great. Good for you. They're awesome. They're amazing. They're your kids. Good. I don't want to meet them. I want to meet you, but not your children. So the power of the pen and words are very um, words are very powerful. The negative words now, the seven deadly words. What is it? Fuck, shit, piss, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. Those are all not deadly anymore. You can say those all you want on TV now. They were deadly in the 70s, but they're not deadly anymore. Now the deadly words are Nutella. Nice to know you. There's the other N word in Germany, that is illegal. And there's all these here's some. See, I can't say that's. Isn't that funny that of all the words in the world of English, that's the one word you can't say. And yet there's other words in English, depending on what country you're in. You can get like blacklisted, canceled, beat up, shot. A bogan. What's a bogan? What's an abo? Unless you're in Australia, those mean absolutely nothing. But if you're in Moscow, Russia, and you say Nutella, you can get canceled. So it's weird. It is weird. It's weird. That's another tangent. Write it down. Words are powerful. So the negative, so if you're constantly swearing a lot, the negativity will be there. Now, this I have a problem with because who says fuck is a bad word? Where'd that come from? And shit and piss and cunt and cocksucker, motherfucker and tits. Why are all those bad words, derogatory words, lascivious words, crude words, mean words, locker room talk, barracks talk, toilet talk? George Collin, rest in peace. Who who decided that? Who decided that? Because you can get very colorful and creative with some positive words and sound very, very mean at the same time. Um, you could be like on the job at a construction site, and somebody could say something like, "You don't even know how to use a left-handed screwdriver." It sounds meaningless and pointless, but on the job with a bunch of other dudes, left-handed screwdriver? They're all right-handed and left-handed. Left-handed screwdriver. So the more positive you try to be, the more uplifting with your words, spoken and then written down, it's going to slowly start a snowball on your personality, your character, your behavior. And you can use it if you want to cast these spells, these situation spells. It's not 100%, right? It's not 100%. You don't know who has a boyfriend, who has a girlfriend, who's married. You don't know the situation. All you know is your situation and your feelings. And it's only rejection if your intent is more than friendship. Sure, I'm a man and I want to have sex with women. Sure, duh. All women, I don't know about that, but most women in my life that I see and come in contact with, duh. That is how the DNA of the male works. I have testosterone. That's do I do I go on? I mean that's just how it works. Um, there's women here where I'm at now in this studio where I see every day, and I'm just mesmerized by their beauty, their lack of laziness, and how they take care of themselves. And I know them personality, I know their personalities, and they know me, and vice versa. And I think sometimes I think when I talk to them, like, oh my gosh, what's up in there? But I just don't mix your milk and your meat. Just leave it. Just enjoy the friendship. Enjoy the friendship. Um, you know, it's also easy to stay friends. Like, let's say you've been friends for a year, and you start writing, and you start like you wanna be more than friends, and then you go, hey, yo, uh, Sarah, I I really like our friendship. I think we'd make a great couple. I think we should start fucking each other's brains out. It's easier in the friendship to go, oh no, that's all right, Mike. Thank you, but no, thank you. I like the friendship, and you won't be bad. You'll be like, I got rejected. I'm broken. Oh, I'm not gonna ever talk to Sarah ever again. Oh, no, that's not gonna happen. You're gonna stay friends. You're gonna stay friends. And because she knows you're into her, and now all of a sudden, eventually, there is going to be a woman that's going to go, yo, Mike, I want to fuck your brains out. And Sarah's going to be a little bit jealous. She'll go, wait a minute. Mike's interested in someone else. Wait, I should have took my chance. And then there's going to be that whole thing. And then if you want to, you can continue to hook up with Sarah if that's your ball of wax. That's just a dynamic of male female hierarchy, authority, power, superiority, game. Time and attention is currency, and when your time and attention from Sarah goes to Cecilia, for example, Sarah wants that time and attention you're giving to Cecilia. Well, I wanted to give it to you, or Mike wanted to give it to Sarah, but Sarah didn't want it. So now Mike's going to really give it to Cecilia. So now Sarah's got to, oh, well, wait a minute. Now I do want you. Now come be with me. But is it real or is it just for the time and attention you're giving to this? See, so that whole thing keeps going and going and going, and you just have to write down what you want. It happens all the time. Not just relationships. There's dudes that write down like, I want $1 million home in 18 months, and they get it. And they get it. They get it. You got to write, I want this job, and they get it. I want this to happen, and they get it. And they get it. And you keep writing the same thing and working on what it is you got to do. For instance, I've been thinking about politics, how to get into politics without being a politician. So I guess that would be being a member of the party and then going to their powwows and then raise my hand and be like, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Why don't we do this? And then the politician would say yes or no and implement the idea or whatever. And think about that. But I don't know if you get paid for that. Who really wants to be a politician? Dick suckers and lawyers. I don't want to do that. But I do like here in this country in Sweden, you do not have to have an education to get into politics. If you have charisma, if you're handsome, if you're speaking with elegant words, and you have style and some kind of personality and one or two great ideas, and you're popular in your party, they vote for you, you're a politician. No education at all. So I have been thinking about that because of the no education thing. And also, I don't speak that well Swedish, and every party speaks English, so that would be great too. Anyway, I gotta get going. Half an hour already, 32 minutes. Oh my gosh. Write stuff down. Meditate, manifest. Write positive stuff down. If you write down like I'm gonna kill my mom tomorrow, don't do that. Don't do that. All right? You don't do that. You write down like I'm gonna send my mom a bouquet of roses for Mother's Day tomorrow, whenever it is. You do stuff like that. And you follow through. The follow through is the stamp, the seal of approval on your words, especially if you're writing about the future. Because you can write about today, but then it's all basically past tense. Today I had breakfast. Today I went for a walk. Today I talked to Sarah. It was good. I didn't ask her out, but next week I will. Whatever. No. You're gonna the future, and then it's solidified because today is already solidified. Today I woke up at 8 o'clock. Done. Why am I gonna write down the past? It already happened. But unless you're writing a novel or a screenplay or something, you're really not going to write about the past and write about the now. The now is just you breathing and concentrating on what you're writing. You got to write about the future, the unknown future, right? The unknown, the unexperienced, unmanifested future. It hasn't happened. You can think it's going to happen, and you don't know if it's going to happen or not unless you're very, 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 very specific. For instance, write down tomorrow at 8 o'clock, there's going to be a knock on the door, and it's going to be the FedEx guy, and he's going to have a check for $2 billion, and he's going to give it to me. That's very detailed and very specific. Is it going to happen? Most likely, no. Get detailed. Get detailed. I don't care about the finances, so I don't write stuff like that down. I write down like, I really want to hang out with so-and-so. So-and-so is going to call me at, I'll get my boy at 5. So-and-so is going to call me at 6, and we're going to talk and make plans to have a coffee tomorrow, whatever. And either 6 o'clock comes and there's a phone call or a text, or there isn't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The other day, I was playing the lottery, and I just said, I'm going to win the lottery. And I won the equivalent of a free ticket. So on one hand, I didn't lose money. So then I won, but I didn't win money. I just broke even. But that was just, I was with a friend, and that was the heat of the moment. And I was talking like this, explaining the power of the secret and how it works and how you have to really, you don't just write down like tomorrow I'm getting $1 million. You you know that million doesn't come out of thin air. It comes from somewhere. Just as the intent and the emotion and the words of I wanted to go and have fika with this lady at the grocery store doesn't come out of thin air. I something over the years of seeing her and saying hi and having these little chance encounters, something in her personality. I didn't care. I thought to myself, she could be anywhere from, like I said, 18 to like 30 something. And I was like, okay, if she's closer to 18, you find out, then you just say, okay, you're too young. I'm too old. You look very beautiful. It is what it is. Maybe we can be friends here and there, but I don't really want to hang out on a weekly or daily basis with somebody who's so young. My oldest son is 24, for crying out loud. So, why do I want to hang out with a 24-year-old? That's not my son. So I went off the rails again. Right. Just write down the power of words. Dude, try it and prove something. Prove yourself wrong or right. Just try it. Just something small too. Start with something small. Start with something like somebody you know already or something, and it's weird because like when I was a kid, I used to go to bed at night and I would dream about tomorrow and who I was going to play on the playground with, and the words I would say, and the teachers I would talk to, all this weird, just weird, lucid dreaming about tomorrow, the future, and shit would happen. Shit would happen. Like the same, like I was like, oh my gosh, I was wishing about saying this, and here I'm saying it, and shit would happen. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I do know for my life. I don't know for your life. So, I think I'm gonna go right. I think I'm gonna go right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. It feels good. It's gonna feel good. Give it some time. You got to get out of the negative spot, right? If you're in this downward spiral, if you're constantly uh, drudging it, and you can't you can't like you're constantly arguing with the kids, with the spouse, with the dog, with whatever. You got an internal issue you need to fix with yourself. You need to fix yourself. The hardest part is being the same person to every person in your life. I'm a different person to my mother, to my father, to my brother, to my sister, to my children, to my exes, to my friends, to my guys, to my ladies. I'm a different person every single time. And I hate it. I'm trying to be the same person 100% of the time. And the hardest part is those ones that are closest to you. My 9-year-old the other day flipped out. Fuck you. You fucking piece of shit. You call yourself a fucking dad. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? How do I get this kid to behave, to calm down, to control, you know? And he was sitting in a chair. So I took the chair and I bent him. He was like sitting like this. I just took him and bent him down. So now he was flat. And he shut the fuck up. He stopped. He freaked out because he thought he was going to like get hurt or something like that. He thought I was going to physically whatever. And he was just like, and he was quiet. And I was like, thank you for being quiet. And then I walked away and I left him down there. He could get off himself. He could put the chair back himself. He understood. He got it. We made it through the thing. Hindsight's 2020. I think what I should have done is like I always do when people speak negative like that towards me is turn my back on them. 9 times out of 10, I turn my back on them. For some reason, when it comes to my kids, I sit there and I listen to it. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? I should have just turned my back on them, right? My 17-year-old, um, when he was like 13 or 14, he was with his mother and he called me up and he was doing the same thing. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit, you fucking. So I hung up the phone. Turning my back on him. Not kidding. A second later, he calls up again. Hello, you fucking fuck. Ding. Hung up the phone. Immediately hung up the phone. About 5 minutes go by, and his mother calls, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to take this call. This is gonna be nasty. I let it go to voicemail. She doesn't leave a voice message. She sends a text message. What's going on between you and our son? I just got home and he's crying hysterically and I can't hear what he's saying and he keeps saying your name and fuck you. Then that's what's going on. That's what I text back. Then that's what's going on. And I don't stand for this. I'm not taking it. She taught him that if you say it in the correct way, you can say fuck you to people. That's what she taught him at a very, very young age. Oh, I don't like the way. I remember it was after this phone call, yeah, and she said, "Oh yeah, no, yeah." He was saying, yeah, he was. We were in court. He was saying, "Fuck you" and "fuck this" and fuck that and this thing." But I reprimanded him and I said, "It's not okay." What did she say? It's okay what you said. It's not okay how you said it. Really. Fuck you, dad is okay if you can say it in a nice way. Really? Really? To which I obviously said, yeah, and when he says fuck you, mom, it's all good. Right? No, I don't think so. So that's just, yeah, whatever, write it down. Stay away from the negativity, you know? Because you can use those words. You can be intimate and be with somebody, and she or he or you or they or whatever could say like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this shit out of you tonight. It's gonna be so good, and they could be like, yeah, you are. But you've got to get into that moment and spot and situation first, right? So be friends, use the pen, write it down, take baby steps. Why do you want to rush to? When you rush, what happens? You rush, you get there, it's over with quickly, and the next thing you know, you're fighting like cats and dogs, and you're like, what happened to the good times? The good times were rushed. Take your time. Anticipation is a part of the thrill of life. So, where's the end stream thing? Thanks for watching another long one. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.